The Twins and Indians have played 5 games since they first met in Puerto Rico. And in those 5 games, Minnesota's averaging 7 runs a game against the Tribe. And last night, they sent Corey Kluber to an early shower as they won the series opener. And they've now won 4 in a row against the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. It's game 2 of this series between the Indians and the Twins. And if Eddie Rosario played all of his games simply against Cleveland, he might be the league's MVP, because in 55 career games, he's hit .345 off Indians pitching.
He had a night to remember back in Minnesota where he had 3 dingers in 1 game. He's a wrecking crew for the Minnesota Twins. The Indians have to find some other way to pitch to this guy. He stepped up last night, first pitch home run, second at bat double. This guy has the second highest batting average in Progressive Field of any active player, trailing Elvis Andrus of the Texas Rangers.
Well, it's going to be up to Carlos Carrasco to try and slow down this Minnesota ball club. They roughed him up the last time they saw him, but since then he's had 2 very good back-to-back starts.
Yeah, his shortest outing of the year came against Minnesota, where he gave up 6 runs in 3 2/3, but Carrasco's pitched very well in his last 2 starts. 21 strikeouts in his 14 innings of work. He's been able to keep the ball in the ballpark. When Carlos does not allow a home run, he's 5-0 on the year, so he has a little payback for these Minnesota Twins. He'd like to get out there, put some zeros on the board in the first inning, and let his offense go to work.
We'll see if that offense can get back on track here tonight against the Minnesota Twins. Al and Jensen are up next with the showstopper. We'll check in with Andre Knott, and the play-by-play action is all straight ahead.
Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
Mound for Cleveland as the Indians try to even up this series at a game apiece here this weekend. We are back with you in center field along with Jensen Lewis. I'm Al Pulowski. Let's take a look at our showstopper from last night, and it is a former Minnesota Twin, now a Seattle Mariner, Denard Span in the 8th inning against Matt Barnes and the Boston Red Sox. Base hit in the bottom of the 8th that put the Mariners ahead for good.
A couple of one-run games already in this possible playoff preview, and I'll tell you what, Wade Denard Span has played after being sent over from Tampa in that trade with Alex Colomé. The Mariners are making no bones about it. They're taking the fight to the Houston Astros. Right now, they're your leaders in the West.
They definitely are. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning have the call today. And guys, let's hope the Indians can cool off Eddie Rosario, who's been as hot as anybody right now in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Al, and so far, to kind of go off your last comments there, it's the Twins that are taking the fight to the Indians so far this year, winning 5 of 7. Minnesota still in 3rd place in the American League Central Division. But Detroit has now crept to within 3.5 games of the Tribe as we get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series here this afternoon. The Indians will send Carlos Carrasco to the hill in hopes of cooling off the Minnesota bats because they have been piling up the runs against the Indians specifically. But also, the Indians got to get their offense going because they have really struggled here in the month of June. With more on that, let's go downstairs to Andre Knott with our Hear Right Sounds of the game.
Thank you very much, Matt. When you talk about the sweetest swing in baseball, a lot of us think of Michael Brantley. And to get that swing back to being as sweet as it possibly can, his dad, Mickey Brantley, is here this weekend for Father's Day. He's here to help everyone out, and here he is talking about the swing that his son possesses.
We try to make it simple. You don't need more parts, move parts, the harder it is to maintain. So we work on just vision, balance, hands, getting him in a good position to hit consistently. When he does that and he can repeat it, it looks really smooth and easy. When he struggles a little bit, something comes out of whack, then it doesn't look as right, and then you know he's going to struggle a little bit.
So you can see from a mile away when something's a tad off.
Absolutely. Because I've worked with him since he was 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. We developed it together. So now when I see something like his hands are not loading, or he's getting out in front, or getting over his front side, it's easy for me to see because I know what I've taught him. And he knows. He just wants Dad to come in to kind of reinforce it. So I come in, I'll reinforce a little bit, build his confidence, and well, hopefully he takes off.
What do you take away from that?
Well, he knows. Keep it simple and build his confidence. That's what hitting is. It's all about confidence. And when, you're just a little bit off or you're not seeing the ball or getting out on front, I'm taking away that his dad knows his swing very well, but there's not much to it. It's very simple.
And that's kind of been the way the Twins have approached playing the Indians this year. It's not real complicated. It's simple. Score a lot of runs. Minnesota scored 8 and lost to the Indians in the series opener back on May 31st in Minnesota. But then in the next 3 games, they scored 7 runs every time and won 3 straight. Came in here last night, built up an early lead against Corey Kluber, and ended up running away with a 6-3 win once again.
Yeah, and they haven't been scoring, when you think about it, against everybody else. In that 4-game series against the Indians, they scored 29 combined runs and just 41 total in the last 11 games. So they've been struggling to score, but it certainly hasn't been that way against the Cleveland Indians. It's going to be up to Carlos Carrasco to try and cool down that offense. He's the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Indians, making his 15th start. Carrasco 8-4 on the year, 390 earned run average. And this will be the 3rd start against the Twins this year. One good one, that was in Puerto Rico, where he pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, and struck out 7. And then his last start against him, June 1st, his shortest start of the year, 3 2/3, gave up 6 runs and only struck out 2. But Carlos, he's going to be back. He's 5-7 against him in his career.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Minnesota Twins on our manager Paul Molitor. Late change has Joe Mauer DHing. He will not be at first base as was originally planned. Instead, Logan Morrison will play first base with Mauer serving as the DH. Rosario we've talked about, Escobar. You got Ryan Dozier, who was really in a slump but hit a home run last night. Robbie Grossman in the lineup today, switch hitting right fielder. And Bobby Wilson will do the catching. He'll bat 9th.
The Indians defense behind Carrasco, brought to you by Chrysler, will look like this. Brantley in left, Naquin in center, Chisenhall in right. On the infield, Ramirez is at 3rd. Gonzalez gets the start at short this afternoon. Kipnis is at 2nd, Encarnacion at 1st, and Gomes catching.
The umpires today, Jim Wolf will call the balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn is at first, Ryan Blakeney at second, and Sam Holbrook, the crew chief, down at third. Joe Mauer digs in to lead it off for the Twins. Mauer activated from the DL in time for yesterday's series opener. He went 0 for 4 after missing 25 games with a neck strain. Carlos Carrasco with a fastball for strike one. Joe Mauer has hit 7 doubles so far this year, but he is second all-time in Twins history with 408 doubles. He is 6 away from tying Kirby Puckett for the all-time lead in that category. Drives this one right up the gut, and Tyler Naquin will cut it off, and he'll hold Mauer to a leadoff single. Today's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. The Eddie twins, Eddie Rosario and Eduardo Escobar, they have been double trouble for the Indians especially. And Carlos Carrasco, when pitching after an Indians loss, 7 times out, he's 7-0.
Well, I like that stat. One you'd like to see him keep that one going. He's coming off of 2 very good starts, one against the Brewers, one against the White Sox, both 7 innings, double-digit strikeouts in both. This is the one guy they have to try to figure out, because he and Escobar, the 2 Eddies as we call them, you may want to tell him what's coming. He's hitting everything in sight.
Since May 1st, Rosario has batted .357 overall. I mean, that's incredible to keep that kind of pace up.
Well, and they have a little note in their notes about him over his last 162 games. He's hitting .312 with 102 runs scored, 193 hits, 44 doubles, 37 homers, and 107. So he's been on a roll for a year.
Cuts and misses here. It's 2-1. Rosario right behind Michael Brantley in the American League batting race. He is 8th in the league with a .313 mark. Carrasco getting him out front.
Yeah, on the changeup.
Upstairs with a fastball, 3-1. .79 degrees at game time, cloudy skies, pretty humid. And now Carrasco ready with the 3-1 pitch. Chops it foul, full count. Eduardo Escobar waiting on deck. And now the 3-2. Runner goes, and it's outside, ball 4. Now you got a mess in the first. 2 on, nobody out, and Eduardo Escobar coming to the plate. Yan Gomes going to go out, and the Indians will burn their first mound visit of the day. 2 batters into the game.
Well, once again, with Carrasco, you want to see him attack and don't start nibbling. I know Rosario has been very, very good. Well, they're going to start with the first 2 men aboard, and This guy, Escobar, is no slouch. He's having some kind of year as well. You talk about extra base hits, he's right up there, right behind Ramirez. He's 12 homers, 26 doubles, and a couple of triples.
Yeah, he's moved into the league lead, or a tie for the league lead, with those 26 doubles. And he looks at a first pitch strike. He goes back to the fastball, and I'm sure that was a pointed conversation where Yan Gomes was trying to pump him up a little bit, saying, hey, don't pitch away from contact.
Right.
Get after him, challenge him with that fastball. In the dirt, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's like when he gets runners in scoring position, he likes to go to that slider or the changeup to back off a little bit. But this is just the first inning. You have to establish at least that good fastball.
Just a bit outside. Now he's fallen behind 2-1. Three balls and a strike, and that missed by a foot. And the crowd already restless. Three batters into the game. Fly ball, right center field. That's gap. That's hit a long way. It'll one-hop the fence. And the Twins are going to get two home, and they take an early 2-0 lead. Three batters into the game. Eduardo Escobar now leads baseball with 27 doubles, and he now has 44 runs batted in.
That's what happens when you fall behind hitters and you have to go in there with a fastball, and they know it's coming. It was down 92, and he plugs the gap in right center field. Would have been a break if the ball stayed in, but it bounces, hits the top of the wall, and comes back into play. But by the time they could get it back in, Mauer and Rosario score, and they're up top again.
Twins got a home run from Eddie Rosario in the first inning last night to score, to grab the early lead, and here today it's a two-run double. Nobody out, and Logan Morrison says he was hit by the pitch. Jim Wolf says, I agree, take first base. So it gets even worse for Carlos Carrasco, and that's going to bring Carl Willis out for a visit. So the second mound visit of the game for the Indians, and we're four batters in.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it did, because Gomes never got leather on it. He was going in to catch him. I don't know if it skipped off his shoe, his leg, but whatever. He's on base, so it's still first and second, and Carrasco, 15 pitches into the game, is yet to get an out.
Not the kind of tone setter they were looking for.
Well, he's not even listening right now. He knows that's not the way he wanted to start this game out, but you get that first man aboard and then a walk, and he falls behind the hitter, and he's got to go get him. He's got to execute a ground ball here and try and get a double play.
Brian Dozier will be the batter. He's the guy that likes to elevate the ball. He homered last night. It's the only hit in his last 23 at bats. And Carrasco gets ahead with a breaking ball for strike one. Right back with a fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. And he slaps that the other way.
Sort of gave in on that one, down 0-2. Trying to go that way with the breaking ball. You know, that's where when we were talking to them in Minnesota, that's what Dozier's been trying to do, get a little pull happy. And then in the first game, he ended up hitting one off the right field wall in a ball game, and he had a nice series.
Swung out and missed, and Carlos Carrasco gets his first strikeout of the day. And it's the first out here in the first inning.
And he needed that one. And this time you see him, he goes out. He was fooled on the breaking ball, and you see him out on the front foot looking to pull. So he finally gets that first out.
Robbie Grossman. He is just 6 for 36 in his career here in Cleveland. The irony there is that Grossman went to spring training with the Indians a couple of years ago. Didn't make the club, spent part of the year at AAA Columbus. And he's missing outside again, 2-1.
Yeah, 11 balls and 11 strikes today in his 22 pitches. Normally a strike throwing machine, but he's at the break-even point. 50-50.
That one just nicked the outside corner. 2-2. Two on, 1 out, 2-2 pitch. Grossman able to stay alive. Outside again. That fastball is missing off the plate consistently.
Right now that defense, look at them standing around out there. They're sort of getting on their heels a little bit.
Carlos Carrasco pitched 7 innings, and each of his last 2 starts gave up a total of 1 run. But here in the first inning, the Twins are just wearing him out. He's made 26 pitches. They have 2 runs in, they have 2 men on, and only 1 out.
Really taking a lot of time in between pitches too, Matt. He's not in a rhythm whatsoever.
Payoff pitch. Grossman socks it into right field.
That's going to send Escobar to third, and the bases are loaded.
Coming in with the fastball. There it was.
For Minnesota, batting center fielder number 26.
And at second, Escobar wasn't sure if that ball was going through or not, so that did not allow him to try and come home. So they'll have the bases loaded now with another opportunity. Still just one out.
Max Kepler will be the batter. And he misses, ball one. Well, Kepler's really been in a slump of late. In his last 16 games, he has 6 hits.
This is a guy that, had a decent month of April for him, but then has really shut down. And these are guys they count on, especially when you had Sano, who hasn't been playing, Buxton, number of guys in that lineup.
The 1-1. Obviously concerned there with Tito and Carl Willis talking it over. 30 pitches in.
Well, he's just, there's no rhythm going on today for him. He's taken too much time.
Kepler launches one deep right field. Lonnie Chisenhall, long run, can't get there. It's off the wall. 1 run will score. Escobar is home. Morrison right on his heels. He scores 2. It's 4-0 Twins, second and third. Max Kepler did not have an extra base hit in any of his last 16 games. But that 2-run double makes it a big inning now for Minnesota.
It's going to be the breaking ball. He's a good low ball hitter, and he just does his thing to it. Boy, hits it, it goes off the wall and ricochets past Chisenhall. And the Twins are off and running.
Terry Francona was not afraid to go to the bullpen in the 6th inning last night, unordinarily early, with Corey Kluber on the hill after he'd only made 65 pitches. Now he's got the bullpen up in the 1st inning here today with Carlos Carrasco still searching for it, and Ehire Adrianza just blasted one foul down the right side. Left-hander Oliver Perez getting loose. And a good block by Gomes. Infield in with 1 out. And a ground ball wide of first. And Encarnacion comes home with the throw. What a play. A perfect throw and a great tag by Gomes. And Robbie Grossman is erased at the dish.
That really was a nice play. I thought he was just going to get up and maybe go to first base. But I'll tell you what, that was a nice play for a guy that's not out there playing often. He gets from his knees and throws a perfect throw to Gomes. There's the tag applied before that foot gets to home plate. And a beautiful defensive play to save a run and keep it at 4 right there.
And get a big out for Carrasco. Kepler to third on the play. Adrianza is at first. Bobby Wilson, the catcher, takes a strike. Slug foul, out of play. Runner at first takes off. Strike three called. That'll end the inning. The Twins come out throwing haymakers. They score 4 in the first. The Indians are coming to bat.
He's 23 years old. It'll be his first start ever against the Indians. He hasn't faced anybody in that lineup. He's 1-2 on the road with a 5.03. He has 3 wins on the year, though.
Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance for Terry Francona today. Frankie Lindor leads off. He's the DH. Michael Brantley will bat second. Jose Ramirez third. Then it's Edwin, Jason Kipnis, Yan Gomes. Lonnie Chisenhall's in right. Tyler Naquin is in center. And Eric Gonzalez starts at shortstop and bats at ninth. Lindor 0 for 5 last night. But he's been better in the month of June. He started out first 7 games this month. He was 2 for 28. By his standards, that's hard to believe. But the last 6 games, he's gone 9 for 27, even with the 0 for 5 last night. Fernando Romero. He's got a good live fastball, slider, and a change. He'll throw the fastball a little more than 60% of the time, then the slider 26% of the time. Changeup he uses 11% of the time.
Okay, he just threw the changeup there.
Lindor rockets this one way out of here, and the Indians are on the board. They come right back. Home run number 16 for Lindor.
Well, there's your answer right there. Get in there, and he put one swing on it. And that ball was way down. He stayed back on it and launched it out of here. His 16th homer.
Went over 400 feet into the bullpen. A
no doubter.
I'm not so sure that this was even a strike if you look at it. Look at that ball. He had to go down and get it. A two-seam fastball. His four-seamer is like 94. That was 91. Almost looked like a changeup.
I think it was, Arch.
It's a hard changeup.
Maybe a little overamped when he threw it.
He threw his changeup the pitch before. It was 87. And then watching that replay, it looked like a changeup.
Not where he wanted it, that's for sure. He thought he was going to get a pop-up. Instead, it was long gone. Michael Brantley swings and bounces it to first. An easy play for Morrison. One away.
Check out that Twins defense this afternoon. Rosario is in left. Kepler is in center. Grossman over in right. On the infield, it'll be Escobar at third, Adrianza at short, Dozier is at second, Morrison at first, and Wilson doing the catching.
And a fastball in there for strike one. In off the plate. Now the 2-1.
Check out that swing by Lindor and look at it. Statcast 103 miles an hour, 423 feet. A little changeup down.
They are swinging with some authority.
Well, they're good. They know they're going to have to if they want to catch these Twins. They've been swinging it, so this is going to have to be an offensive game.
Now the 2-2. And he fouls that off back toward the on-deck circle for Minnesota.
For Romero, told you it's his first start against the Indians. He hasn't faced anybody. He actually pitched in Double-A last year, Chattanooga, where he spent the entire year.
The 2-2. And another foul ball, same spot. He keeps wearing that spot out over there on the right side by the Minnesota dugout.
Yeah, he keeps going inside, and he's going to continue to wear it out. And for Ramirez, he's just waiting for a pitch, maybe to get a little swinging room.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And Ramirez launches one. Deep right field. Goodbye.
He got one out for him. Those balls that were inside, he was pulling foul over in front of their dugout. Well, you know what? This one came back out over the plate. He gave him a little swinging room, and he put another run on the board, number 21 for Ramirez.
So a pair of home runs here in the first for the Indians. Another look at it. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but he'd seen enough of them in this at-bat. Now Edwin Encarnacion looks at a pitch low and away that's called a strike. And now a weak ground ball to third, and Edwin will be erased, 2 down. Well, this crowd that was settling into their seats is not real happy about the way the game started in the top half of the first. Now a little something to get excited about.
Well, yeah, they answered. They responded. And they took a little of that momentum away. So that's exactly what they needed to do.
And up comes Jason Kipnis.
Backed away. Ball one. Kipnis was working really hard and had that batting average north of the 200 mark for a spell, but now just 2 for his last 23. Now ball to first. Morrison takes it himself. The inning is over. But the Indians respond. They get on the board with a pair of solo jacks in the first. It's 4-2 Minnesota after 1.
And it's exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Indians are represented on this year's squad by voting at Indians.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th on Fox.
All right, let's try this again. Joe Mauer will lead off. He led off the game with a single and came around to score in the first. First pitch strike from Carrasco with the fastball. Oh, and nailed Carrasco, and he's hurt. Oh, no. Not again. Not sure where it got him. We'll wait, but he is in considerable pain right away. Right on the elbow, it looks like. Players are backing away. That's never a good sign.
That was flush, and there's no way or chance he had to get out of the way.
Well, by our count, that's what, at least three times that we've witnessed that happen.
Yes,
Carlos Correa.
the White Sox, the Tigers, and now the Twins.
Terry Francona making the motion for the left-hander Oliver Perez to get up. I don't think there's any chance Carrasco is going to return to this game. He's going to head off with trainer Jeff Desjardins. Andre will keep us updated when available.
That was the breaking ball, and he just could not get out of the way, and you could see it deflected off right on the elbow. Oh. Wow. Right? Yeah. Nothing you could do.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. Oliver Perez is coming on to warm up. He'll be the new Indians pitcher. It's 4-2 Twins. We're in the second. So it didn't take him long to get ready. And a high drive base hit by Eddie Rosario. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Eddie, you know, the thing about Oliver Perez is that he has been a starter in his career. I'm not saying he's going to come in here and go 5-6 innings, but maybe he has a little different mindset coming into this particular situation, knowing that, you know, he wants to try to give you a couple innings, settle the game down if possible.
Absolutely. Right now they came back, got into the ball game 4-2. Now that bullpen is going to have to eat up some innings, and you know there's no off days in sight Thursday, so you know it's going to be everybody out of that pen today, I would think.
Now the 1-0. High and foul down the left side. Well, that thing was hit a ton. Tell you, Arch, these guys are swinging like they know what's coming.
Well, yes. Rosario, he couldn't wait. He had to wait an extra 5 minutes to hit because of the pitching change. He got up and swung at the first pitch and gets a hit. And I'll tell you what, Escobar, he's just firing. He believe me, he reminds me a lot of Ramirez. The more I get to see him play.
Runner goes, the throw to first, now down to second. It's off the glove of Gonzalez. Not a good throw by Encarnacion. And Eric was trying to reach up, grab it, and then slap the tag down.
Well, that'll go as a stolen base, because once you get picked, you just keep right on running. And Encarnacion, you see him come to the inside, and he threw sidearm, But it wasn't as bad as that throw looked like. It's just that Gonzalez never caught the ball. Not to say he would have had him out, but he might have had to come back and tag him. You just keep right on going as a base runner.
A little high, 2-1. To center field. Naquin makes the catch. 2 down. Well, back in 2015, it was Melky Cabrera who lined one back off the right side of the jaw of Carrasco.
After one off the glove, there's Kinsler.
That broke his hand.
Second pitch of the ball game, and then today off the elbow. Those are the 3 times.
Logan Morrison hit by a pitch on the foot his first time up. Good pitch, didn't get it called. Ball 1. Morrison started the year 3 for 44. Since then he's hit .222 with 7 homers, 19 runs batted in over 48 games. 1-1 the count. Deep center. Naquin's going to watch this one sail off the top of the wall. Scoring is Rosario. Into second with a double is Morrison. And it's now 5-2.
Ball hit a long way. He stayed on that fastball and drives it to the deepest part of the ballpark, and it goes high off the wall. Stays in play. It'll be a double. Naquin not going to get there, and you can see just 3 or 4 feet from getting out of here. Played the carom nicely, but another double for the Twins. Their 3rd already, and a 2-out base hit to make it a 5-2 game.
That is the first run Oliver Perez has allowed since joining the Indians bullpen. This is his 7th appearance. Ramirez will throw out Dozier to end the inning. Carrasco gets knocked out. Twins add a run. It's 5-2 Minnesota, middle of the 2nd. He nearly got hit. So far, Yan Gomes has been the Indians' best hitter here in the month of June. He's hit in 9 of 10 games. He has 4 doubles, 3 home runs.
He's had a good approach using the whole field. You know, doubles going to the right field side, hit a home run to right center.
How about that one he smoked last night?
Yeah.
Shattered bat, and it's a base hit for Gomes.
It's okay. You'll sacrifice the bat for a hit any day.
There were pieces of that going every which direction.
That didn't sound too good, but it turned out very well with a base hit. Watch this thing just explode. There it goes. Here comes the barrel.
It didn't look like it was hit really on the trademark or a weak part of the bat. Maybe it was that bat's time to go.
Yes, it was. It blew up real good.
All right, so Lonnie Chisenhall, the batter. Got a piece of that. Doesn't take a genius to see the scoreboard. 7 runs already have been scored and say it looks like it's going to be a high scoring affair, but it just seems like hitters on both sides are getting some good swings here. The ball's carrying. It might take 9 or 10 to win this one today.
Well, it's the weekend. Play it like a softball game.
Houston's put up 10 today in Kansas City. They lead the Royals 10-2 in the ninth. Fernando Romero. The right-hander has Chisenhall down 0-2. Up and away with it. In Chicago, the Tigers gone ahead of the White Sox 7-5. They're in the ninth inning. Off the bat foul. And another foul back. Fernando Romero at 23 years old. That, you know, in normal people years, that's still a very young man. But in baseball years, he came to spring training like a man possessed this year because he missed almost two full seasons coming back from Tommy John surgery. And he said, hey man, I got to make up for lost time. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to compete. 1-2 pitch. And Lonnie grounds one to third. They get the force at second, and that's all they'll get. Nice play by Escobar just to smother that ball. Actually, it was Adrianza who was left on the left side of the infield, and he was able to get it to Escobar to get the force on Gomes.
Yeah, went to the backhanded side. I think Lonnie, as a hitter, may have thought that ball was getting through, but he knocked it down, and he had the short throw to second.
So that one gets scored 6-5 on the force out. When he made his debut back on May 2nd against Toronto, his catcher that day was Jason Castro, and Castro said afterwards, when the opposing hitters are making comments during the at-bat about his stuff, you know he's got
he got pretty good movement on his pitches. The 1-1. Chopped to second. Could be 2 here. And the Twins are out of the inning. We played 2 in Cleveland. Minnesota 5, Cleveland 2. Enough to maybe cool the crowd off on a warm summer afternoon. 3rd inning, 5-2 Twins. Robbie Grossman leading off for Minnesota and takes a strike. Zach McAllister is getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen. That ball's hit to right field where Lonnie Chisenhall will make the catch. 1 down. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Twins in the last 2 years here in Cleveland have won 7 of 10. They made themselves right at home, averaging just about 4 runs a game. And their starters have pitched well here.
Well, the Twins, they always play the Indians tough.
Max Kepler drove in 2 with a double off the right field wall in the first. A brief shower here at the ballpark, but must not be expected to amount to anything because the grounds crew is not out there perched behind the tarp like they would be normally if that was the case. Ramirez gives it a look, can't get there.
Our guy's not undercover, Andre. Look at him standing right out there in the rain.
Flower needs the bloom.
He needs it. No umbrella. Oh, there's a towel.
The 1-2. Whoa. Behind him.
Yeah. That's one as a hitter, you know, you see it go behind you and it's so rare. Your instinct is to jump back, and sometimes if he would have done that, he would have jumped right into it. It was a breaking ball that gets away. He had to go forward so he didn't get hit.
Rolls it to the second baseman, Jason Kipnis, and there are 2 down.
Well, the White Sox are going to be in town for a 3-game set starting Monday. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can grab a $15 district ticket. That'll be presented by Sports Time Ohio, and you can enjoy an afternoon at the ballpark on Wednesday's 1:10 start. Visit Indians.com for the tickets.
In off the plate, ball 1. And a weak liner to second. And Oliver Perez with a nifty 1-2-3 third. To Andre Knott.
Well, we always talk about situations, sometimes helping players. In Eric Gonzalez's situation, Terry Francona likes that he's going to play him all weekend long. He says he deserves it and earned it. Obviously, with Alonso not being here this weekend, he played first yesterday. Today he's at shortstop. Tomorrow he'll be at third. And Tito thinks he deserves this chance to play every day. He likes how he works and he likes what he's becoming. And he thinks at some point in time he's going to be an everyday player for some team very soon.
Well, they keep telling him you keep getting hits and you'll push your way into the lineup. You keep doing the job and they'll find playing time for you.
Eric pops one to left. And Rosario, the left fielder, makes the catch, 1 down. Once again, we're participating in the home run challenge. Every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $2 million have been raised in the challenge, and you can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org.
Getting back to your thing about offense and the way this game started out. Coming into this inning before it started, there were 90 pitches thrown. There were only 2 swings and misses. And Romero had none of them.
Let's see if that trend continues. Lindor smacks one right back up the middle. You know, Andre interviewed Frankie last night after the game. And it's funny because, you know, fans might expect, the players are probably going to be down. They're going to be upset. They're going to be angry. A myriad of emotions after an ugly game like that. And Frankie was like, hey, man, another game to play tomorrow. You can't beat yourself up over one bad game. You can't get too down. You have to look at the positive. We got another game to play tomorrow. We got a chance to come out and redeem ourselves and get back on track.
Best thing about that situation, he had his worst game in his career with the words he told me. Everybody came back out for the fireworks and everything else last night. He was the only guy in the clubhouse dressed, ready for the media. When I walked in, he said, come on, let's get it over with. Let's talk about it. I had a bad day. Let's move on.
Yeah.
He's a pro at a very young age. And had all the confidence in the world today when he got back to the ballpark.
Well, that's the great thing about playing every day and being an everyday player. You have to put that aside and then move on. And the same with the good. You don't have time to beat your chest, man. You got to come right back because someone's going to try and get you out the next day 4 times.
Michael Brantley bounced to first, his only time up. And he smacks one through the hole on the left side of the infield. Boy, was that perfectly placed. Both of these hits back to back by Lindor and Brantley just perfectly hit through the holes in the infield.
Yeah, that's staying with it. And you're right. They went away from that defense. Look at Brantley. They had the man on the shortstop side, but he still found that hole.
Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Extra base hits, Jose Ramirez and Mike Trout topped the leaderboard with 42. Escobar and Lindor right behind them, nipping at their heels. Mookie Betts and JD Martinez in Boston also in the picture. Jose homered in the first after a lengthy at bat.
I tell you, Wilson's trying to slow him down a little bit. It looks like Romero wants to go. Starts him out with a slider that time. Yeah, he was pounding him inside, and Ramirez kept fouling off pitches towards the Minnesota dugout in his first at bat until, I don't want to say he made a mistake, but he gave him a little swinging room and he smoked it to right field. Timeout.
By the way, we just received word that, not surprisingly, Indians pitcher Carlos Carrasco has been taken to the hospital for x-rays and further evaluation. We'll let you know if we hear anything before the end of the game. Most likely stay tuned after the game with Al and Jensen on Indians Live for any updates. Swung on and missed. He chased a bad pitch down and in, 0-2.
Well, it's another breaking ball. He started him out slider. This is more towards the back foot that Gibson was trying to do to a lot of the hitters last night. And Jose, that was his bad swing. You won't see it again.
To first, Morrison goes to second, and what a pick at the bag. That's a heck of a play by Adrianza to get an out, 2 down.
Yeah, that ball gets away from him. A run's going to score and you'd have 2 men on base, but he picked it beautifully for the second out. It was a bad throw by Morrison. Short hops, but you can see the backhanded pick, and he wisely held on to the ball because there is a man on third. Look at that. He saved him.
Well, Edwin Encarnacion to the plate. Remember when he tweaked that ankle on the last road trip? Since then, he has gone 1 for 17 at the plate. That was on June the 8th.
And he was swinging the bat very well.
Yeah.
Before he hurt the ankle. That's what he's doing. He's fouling pitches off now instead of hitting them like he was. Look at him. He's been talking to himself all series. Not that he's not getting the pitches to hit, he's just not hitting them.
One ball, 1 strike. 3 Twins on the left side of the infield for Minnesota.
We'll see if they can get some 2-out scoring of their own here. Minnesota able to do it in the top half of the inning. In the second.
Upstairs and a bit inside. Knocked him off a little bit. 2-1. Drill deep center, but not deep enough. Kepler makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Through 3, 5-2 Twins.
And the Indians go to their third pitcher of the day as Zach McAllister comes on for the Indians after Oliver Perez went an inning and 2/3, allowing a run on 2 hits. McAllister making his 28th appearance of the year, and like so many members of that bullpen, been pitching much better of late.
Yeah, I'll tell you, his last outing he was outstanding. The month of June, that bullpen has settled down, and they're going to have to hold him for a while now. Down 3.
Bobby Wilson leads it off, batting 9th for Minnesota. And the catcher fouls it back. Well, we're happy to be joined now by Alvaro Espinosa. How are you?
Good, good. Having fun here and back in Cleveland. Always is a lot of good memories.
I got to check and see if there's any gum on my head. That's what I got to do. It was the master at it.
Zach McAllister's 0-1 to Bobby Wilson is fouled back. When you're an extra man or a utility player, you do have to find something to kind of keep your time occupied, don't you?
Well, I used to have my own routine, and when we were winning, I trying to have the most fun possible to keep those guys relaxed and have fun, and that's what we did. That was my job.
Well, you did your job very well, because those guys, did any team have more fun than the '95 Indians?
I doubt it. I doubt it. We was coming ready to the field, and we know we was going to compete, and we was going to put up the best effort to win every game, and that's what make us special in '95.
Ground ball to short. Eric Gonzalez fields it, throws it to first. 1 down, and SB. Eric Gonzalez is the first Cleveland Indian since you to start a game at every spot on the infield in the same season. How about that?
All right. From now today's game is very valuable.
Yeah.
And to have a guy like Gonzalez is huge in every organization.
And everybody does, and that's what you do now. You're a roving infield instructor for the
San Francisco
Giants,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So you work with these kids all the time.
Yes.
Do they do that in the minor leagues?
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Where they have them play different, start at different positions.
When the kid is not legit in one position, that's what they're trying to do, is keep playing in every position and keeping ready. Like that, create value for the kids.
Yeah, you know, now when you have more pitchers on the pitching staff, you can go with the less position players if a guy can play 2 or 3 different positions.
1-0 pitch. SB, by the time you came to Cleveland, you had already established yourself as a ball player, so the utility role, I don't know, might have been a little easier for you. What are the challenges for an Eric Gonzalez, who's still a young player, really a rookie?
Well, he just got to find out himself where he need to work more in the position that he feel more uncomfortable, and he got to find the time to keep in shape and keep sharp in that position. When the time to come, he's going to be ready.
So I would say for him, probably first base. That's probably the position he's played the least, so you want to try to get more time there when you can.
Exactly. You know, doing BP, catch ladder throws, working balls in the dirt. You know, and the team, they don't come too often in the game, and so he don't want to be catch off guard, and he got to work on.
All right, now your best position was shortstop, right? You were a natural shortstop.
Yes.
What was the toughest position that you had to play on the infield?
Believe it or not, the second base, because second base is everything the opposite. It's the opposite, so we got to get used to the opposite.
Your back is to first base.
Especially for turning the double plays.
Right. I've heard that, where you know you got to get it and then turn around and throw.
Yeah, in the double play you don't see the runner coming at you.
Line drive single into right field for Joe Mauer, so the Twins have 1 on and 1 out. It's almost like sort of a different throw when you're at second base too, because sometimes you almost want to sidearm it, just kind of flip it over there to make the double play.
Yeah, it's different angles.
Yeah.
And you just got to get used to what angle you're going to be using from second base, because you can hurt your arm easy. And you just practice and feel comfortable, and it's going to come natural.
I remember Holbert Cabrera years ago when he was with the Indians said that was the hardest thing for him to get used to, is the different arm angles, and he said his arm would get sore just from changing arm angles from working around the different positions on the diamond.
Holbert, he's a manager in the Giants organization.
Yeah,
Look at this guy.
He is continuing to smoke everything in sight. That one's off the wall in center. Mauer's going to be stopped at third. And it's a double for Rosario, who's 2 for 2. He's been on all 3 times.
They may think of just walking him and just move him along because this guy is just killing the Indians.
Like that, they can keep the double play in order.
That's
well, if they walk Escobar, they could load the bases because he's been swinging it really well also.
Well, there's that curveball, but it stayed out over the plate, and he smoked it into right center field. The 4th double for the Twins this afternoon. They're back in business, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You just put him on and go for the double play.
What's that old saying? Fool me once, fool me twice. How many times does it take, right?
Yeah, just go ahead, you two. Any good Jim Thome stories that you have? That because you were here with Jimmy when he was just starting out as well.
Well, Jimmy was special. He's a one day he came to me and said, "SB, you got to help me on third base." You know, he came up as a third base, but I was his replacement in the 9th inning. And I said, "Jimmy, you just got to move your feet. If you don't know, I got to teach you how to dance." So it was hard work, and then he went to first base and he became a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I remember with Jimmy though, a lot of times it was his throwing that he had issues with at third base. And then when he settled in over at first, he was a lock, man.
Yeah.
The 1-0. But you know what? You just brought something up, Arch, that just being around you guys all these years I've learned. We always think about throwing using your arm. But your feet, if your feet aren't in proper alignment, you can't make a good throw.
Everything comes from your feet.
Right.
If you not move your feet, you're going to be in trouble. Your arm angle going to be a different position, and the ball going to move. Everything comes through your feet. You follow through and everything.
Well, you learn that as a shortstop, but that transpires with every position. You gotta move your feet. Boy, it's a lower body game.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to tell the young kids when they play third base, trying to act like a shortstop, create the angles, keep your momentum where you're going to be throwing, and you know, and everything comes from your feet.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't have the time at third base to do that, and that's just a reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to have some soft hands there.
Yeah.
McAllister's in a mess. Bases loaded, 1 out. Logan Morrison in the hole, 1 and 2, and he hits a high fly ball.
Get 1 out of it.
Lonnie Chisenhall's thinking about making a throw to the plate. Here he comes, and Mauer will not go home. They've got the runner hung up between second and third, and Carnacion throws to third, and Mauer's out to end the inning.
Nice.
Just like SB drew it up on the chalkboard. What a play by the Indians to get out of a bases loaded 1 out jam here in the 4th. SB, thanks for stopping by, man. Always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Alvaro Espinosa with us, and a defensive play made by the Indians you don't see very often.
Jason Kipnis looks at a pitch up high, ball 1. I don't want this to sound like we're going to beat up on the Twins because they're not our team, but you expected Mauer to go home on that play. Wonder why he stopped.
I don't know. You're leading 5-2. You can go ahead and you know, see if they can make a good throw. But here's the other play. Rosario's got to make sure he goes. He can't run and force him off third base either. You know, you have to make sure. Mauer's not the best base runner, and why he stopped, I don't know. But you got to be aggressive there when you're up 3 runs.
It's the age-old play about assuming. He assumed he was going to go.
Yeah.
And then looked up and said,
yes.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jason Kipnis draws a walk, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. 3rd time in 4 innings.
Well, now watch. It's deep enough, but then I guess the third base coach, I don't see him right there. No, he was telling Rosario to stop. He thought he was going to go. That's just bad judgment on my part. Look, Joe may not be the fastest guy in the league, but that was deep enough to at least attempt to throw to home plate.
Yan Gomes singled his last time up.
Could turn out to be a very big play in this ball game when it's all said and done.
Bases loaded, 1 out. They could have really, I don't want to say knockout punch because it's still early, but they could have really taken a lot of wind out of the Indians' sails. Your hopes for a comeback might have been.
Well, we always say it when you score, you have a big inning early, like they had a 4-run first. You know, if you can add on in the middle part of the game, it goes a long way at taking your team out of it.
Gomes down on the count, 0-2. Upstairs with it. Romero, 38 of 54 pitches have been strikes. He allowed a pair of solo homers in the first, but since then, just 3 singles. Now the walk to Kipnis. And he strikes out Gomes. That's his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Elevated the heater there on Yan. And he had enough on it to get it past. That's a ball. So Yan right there, he gets himself out swinging at that pitch. And he sees it well, but you're not going to catch up to it. And he's a very good low ball hitter.
Lonnie Chisenhall. Looks at a pitch high for ball 1. The Tigers won again. Ron Gardenhire's club has won 4 in a row, and now the Tigers are within 2 games of the 500 mark. And for the moment, they've closed the gap to 3 games on the Indians in the Central.
You know, they started to play a little bit better when Miguel Cabrera ended up going out, getting hurt. Much like Seattle did when Cano served his, you know, 80-game suspension.
Strange how that sometimes happens.
Well, sometimes you can rally around it or you can get down on yourself, but in those cases, so far anyway.
Lonnie with a fly ball, deep right field. Back is Grossman. It's off the wall. Kipnis will go to third. Lonnie's into second safely with a double. Lonnie Chisenhall with his 4th double of the year. That ball was hit so hard that it
ricocheted right to Grossman. He made a nice play on the ball at second base.
Well, he tried to get his first home run this year, and it didn't miss by much. It was a line drive. He didn't get it elevated, but played nicely, and in comes a throw, and Chiz knew he had to turn it on. He was hustling all the way between first and second. Now it's set up for Naquin to at least get one more on the board here, possibly two.
We have some guys scrambling in the Minnesota bullpen. Inside, almost hit him.
I'll send along happy birthday wishes to Marlene Ford of New Washington, who is turning 80 today. Marlene, a happy birthday to you.
Garvin Alston, the pitching coach, going to go out for a chat. Slow it down, give whoever is up in the bullpen a chance to start to loosen. Who is it going to be? Matt Belisle, who spent some time with the Indians earlier this year. Naquin sends a fly ball to left. Rosario circles under it, tagging his Kipnis. He's coming home. The throw way offline, and the Indians get a run closer. It's a two-run game now, 5-3. Give Tyler Naquin his 12th run batted in on the year.
Yeah, you get the one home, and I know Rosario has a pretty good arm, but a throw like that is just really uncalled for. Because he tried to throw it all the way in the air. This is not a do or die play. This is just, he's not going to throw him out. And then that allows Chisenhall to go all the way to third base. I mean, the difference there, he might be able to score on a wild pitch or an error now. Doesn't have to be a base hit. So it's a 5-3 game.
And Eric Gonzalez, the batter, flied to left his first time up. Backed him off. When Eric stays on the ball and drives it the other way, he has been a very effective hitter. That's when he doubled last night off the wall to drive in a run. Lines this one to third, right into the glove of Escobar to end the inning. But the Indians get a run closer. We've played 4. It's now 5-3 Minnesota. Baseball is brought to you by the 2019 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. (5-3), Minnesota on top. And the Indians bullpen looking to put up another 0 here. Zach McAllister got out of a mess in the 4th inning, stays on to start the 5th. And he's got Brian Dozier, Robbie Grossman, Max Kepler due up. Dozier is 0 for 2.
We'll have to remember that 4th inning because Minnesota had bases loaded, 1 out, and couldn't score, and the Indians came in and they were able to get one. McAllister going out and trying to put his another 0 up. His last outing against the White Sox, he went 2 1/3 innings, faced 7 guys and shut it down, 7 in a row.
Did not go on the appeal. Low and away, 3 balls and a strike. Dozier sends one right back over the screen, full count. Chop foul, third base side. If you missed it earlier or joined us late, Carlos Carrasco started. Gave up 4 runs in the first. He was not sharp, really didn't have it. But in the 2nd inning, the first batter, Joe Mauer, hit a line drive right back to him. And it hit Carlos Carrasco on the pitching elbow square. There was immediate swelling visible. He was removed from the game and has since been taken to the hospital for x-rays and further evaluation. Oliver Perez came on. He went an inning and 2/3. He allowed 1 run. And then Zach McAllister worked a scoreless 4th, now pitching here in the 5th. The Indians have kind of clawed their way back into it. It's a 5-3 game. Dozier buckled by the breaking ball, and McAllister gets the strikeout, 1 down. This was what happened first batter, 2nd inning.
Man, that didn't take, I mean, no time at all to go right back and go right deflect it. He knew it was coming at him and he couldn't get out of the way, but boy, that right on the elbow. Let's hope that's going to be a-okay. You can see the swelling there. Not good.
And Murph told us that the ball came off the bat, measured at 100 miles an hour. So when you're less than 60 feet away, when that ball's coming right back at you, you can't get out of the way.
Well, it's like a hitter taking it right on the elbow like that. It's scary. No reaction time.
Grossman to left. Brantley 2 down. Time now to check in with Gabriela Cruz on what's new here at the ballpark on this upcoming homestand.
Everyone's favorite Sugardale Dollar Dog Night returns to Progressive Field on Friday, June 22nd. We want you to get here early so that you can enjoy the pregame over in the district. It's all presented by Miller Lite, which means the $2 beers for you and plenty of fun. We also want you to stick around postgame because we've got fireworks. It's our Women of Rock fireworks show. Don't miss out on any of the action. Be sure to get your tickets on Indians.com.
All right, thanks, Gabriella. 5-3 Minnesota, 2 down, top of the 5th. It hasn't started the way you'd like if you're the Indians, but this is a big and lengthy homestand. After Minnesota, the White Sox come in, and then the Tigers will follow Chicago. And off the plate. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Kepler pops one sky high, shallow center. Gonzalez is out there. He's calling for it, and he makes the catch. Zach McAllister, 2 scoreless under his belt. Halfway through, 5-3 Minnesota. Series against the Twins. Adam Pletko matches up against Jake Odorizzi. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 12:30. First pitch just after 1. Swing into summer on Sports Time Ohio and Fox Sports Go, presented by Click It or Ticket. And Minnesota will go to the bullpen. Matt McGill is the new pitcher. Fernando Romero only went 4 innings, so he will not qualify for a win in this game.
And no, they weren't going to let him face the top of the lineup again for the 3rd time. So they're going to try and steal one here and go to their bullpen early as well.
Three runs on 6 hits and 4 innings of work for Romero. He walked 1, struck out 1. Francisco Lindor led off the game with a homer in the 1st, base hit in the 3rd. It's weird how Lindor has been truly an all-or-nothing hitter of late. This is his 9th multi-hit game since May 28th. During that same time span, he has 8 games with no hits.
All or nothing.
Foul ground, tough play, can't get it. The last time he had a game in which he had only 1 hit, just a 1-hit performance, was May 27th. So over the last 16 games, 17 games now, it's either been multi-hits or no hits.
Well, he always seems when he gets 1, he's going to get 2. That's why 28 in multi-hit games. There's Lindor 28 following Segura out in Seattle, who has 32. And Altuve, you know what a hit machine he is, and right there is Rosario. So you can see why these guys, they're swinging it.
They pile them up.
Yes, they do.
Lindor sends a high fly ball to center, but not deep enough. Kepler. 1 down. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Ugly start for the Tribe. Eduardo Escobar, a 2-run double. And then Max Kepler with a 2-run double. That was all in the first inning, and just like that, it was 4-0. But in the bottom of the first, the Indians came right back. Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor each homered to cut it to 4-2. Twins added a run in the second. Indians got that run back in the 4th. And that's where we stand now into the bottom of the 5th. And Brantley pulls 1 foul.
Brantley second on the team in multi-hit games with 21. It's almost like once you see him get 1, you expect him to get another one. He had one in his last at bat.
There's Michael's dad, Mickey Brantley.
Under the watchful eye.
Driven to deep left, but back there to get it is Rosario. 2 down. It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. And Ramirez is 1 for 2. He homered in the first. Bounced into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. With that 21st home run of the year, Ramirez right there among the American League leaders in long balls. Pulls it foul. Oh yeah. Two balls, 2 strikes. He sends a sky-high ball to center field, but again, not deep enough out there. And the Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time today. Through 5, it's 5-3 Minnesota.
heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
5-3, Minnesota on top. Zach McAllister staying on now for a third inning of relief work, at least to start it that way. Tyler Olson is up in the Cleveland bullpen. A-Ray Adrianza. Takes a pitch down low in the dirt. Adrianza, a native of Venezuela, signed with the Giants organization when he was just 16 years old. And he lines one up the left center field alley. That splits him and goes to the wall, and he's got himself a leadoff double. Time now for a game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go up to Toronto where the Nationals taking on the Blue Jays. Max Scherzer trying to win it today and become the first 11-game winner in the majors, but he's down here. Devin Travis with a 2-run homer in the 5th, the only scoring thus far. Toronto is up 2-0, 7th inning, north of the border. We'll see if Max can come back and get that win, fellas.
All right, thanks, Al. Right now, Zach McAllister trying to keep Minnesota from extending their lead. Bobby Wilson bunts it perfectly to third. Ramirez's only play is at first. Edwin got there in time to take the throw. One down. Adrianza is now at third base. Top of the order, Joe Mauer. Terry Francona is going to make a corresponding move. He wants the left-hander Tyler Olson for the left-handed hitters Mauer and Rosario. Timeout. 5-3 Twins in the 6th. Buxton has a fracture in that toe, but he's getting closer. He was here working out yesterday. Jason Castro with a knee injury. Irvin Santana dealing with an injury on his pitching hand, and Michael Pineda an elbow injury.
Byron Buxton will leave tomorrow and play in his first minor league rehab game on Monday or Tuesday in Rochester. So they're very close. They plan on him playing this week and hope to have him back by next weekend.
All right, thanks, Andre. Right now, Tyler Olson to face Joe Mauer. The infield is in. There is one out. This is about as tough a spot as there is for a relief pitcher. You've got a guy who doesn't swing and miss very often. He puts the ball in play.
He's patient. He's going to make you throw strikes. The infield is in, everything in his favor.
Yeah.
And you got real trouble on deck.
Three and oh.
And Mauer's a guy, he's not going to swing when it's off the plate, especially when he doesn't have a strike on him. He's going to make you get into the strike zone.
Four-pitch walk. I don't think that's what Tito had in mind, but here's Eddie Rosario now. Last night, Rosario lined out to the shortstop, but the infield wasn't in. So we'll see how they play this. Maybe go back to double play depth, because if they can turn two, they can get out of the inning. Down to Andre.
We've talked about the damage the two Eddies have done for the Twins so far this year, and we've seen it so far this year versus the Indians. The one thing that stands out about both of them, they can hit the ball out of the strike zone. One for Escobar, he swings at 40% of pitches outside of the zone, while Rosario hits some 19th. He's 19th at 38%. Their hitting coach says some guys are just gifted. They have good enough hands where they can get to balls that may not be in typical strike zone and hit them hard. So therefore, in certain counts, they're allowed to swing at whatever they like.
Like that. Base hit right field. Adrianza scores. Mauer stops at second. And it's 6-3 Minnesota.
Just one more hit for Rosario. He's 3 for 3 today. Scored a pair, drives in his first. Comes on a breaking ball after throwing 4 straight to Mauer. He was sitting on that bad boy. So it's a 6-3 game. That run is charged to McAllister.
Eduardo Escobar, 2-run double in the first, intentionally walked in the fourth, and that worked out because the Indians turn an unusual double play to end that inning. You can see Escobar looking into the dugout of the Twins saying, no, 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 that did not hit me. Don't even bother. He wants to swing the bat.
Yes, he does.
He turns it loose. And Olsen throws it by him. 1-1. So far in his last 13 games against the Indians, Escobar has 5 doubles, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in. And that's why they intentionally walked him in the fourth when they had the base open. Unless your name is Bonds or you're extremely desperate, you don't intentionally walk a guy to force the bases loaded. But I will have to admit the thought did cross my mind. The way he's been swinging the bat.
They're swinging the bat. They just gotta. You have to make better pitches if you want to get them out. You look at Rosario, who's 3 for 3. The last 3 hits have come on the first pitch in every at bat. 3 pitches, 3 hits. You got to make better pitches.
Low and away, and a full count. Swung on and missed. He struck him out.
Tyler Olson with the K, and there are 2 down in the inning. And boy, has that changed the complexion of things.
Boy, this is one he had to get right here, and he made a quality pitch. Look at the breaking ball in off the plate. He got him to chase after it. Don't think it was a strike, but by the time he swung, it was bearing in on him, and he got the swing and miss. Needed that desperately.
Logan Morrison pops one up over the top of the Twins dugout. Not quite a shift, but Jason Kipnis is way out on the outfield grass in shallow right field. Eric Gonzalez stays on the left side of second base. Slow breaking ball missed inside. 1-1. Same pitch, same result, 2-1. And now 3 balls and a strike. Brian Dozier would be next, and that'd be Dan Otero. Sometimes you talk about an offensive lineup. If you don't get your pitch, you take your walk, let the next guy. Sometimes you wonder if the same holds true in relief pitching. You're behind in the count. You don't have to give in. You can let Otero have a crack at the next hitter. Challenge him, full count.
Well, relief pitchers, man, they have to throw strikes for managers. If they're going to get walks, he wouldn't be in there in the first place. So I don't know if you want to load him up and then leave the ball game, because you know, managers hate to come in, and you have pitchers on your staff that are good at getting inherited runners out, but it's not an easy gig, you know, to get outs when you come in with the bases loaded or 2 guys on. That's a tough way to go.
Olson's already allowed his inherited runner to score.
Right.
Runners will be off. 3-2 pitch. Checked the swing and fouled it off, and it was ball 4, and that's why Morrison's upset with himself. That, and he might have tweaked his wrist.
Well, it's the breaking ball, and you're right, out of the strike zone, but he did get a piece of it to stay alive. You can be upset with yourself, but you'd be much more upset if you checked it and you swung and didn't get a piece and ended the inning.
Joe Mauer at second, Eddie Rosario at first. They're off, and Morrison rips it to right field. That'll get down, that'll go to the wall. Mauer will score. Here comes Rosario. They're going to wave him home as well. Throw hits the umpire, and 2-run score. And now Morrison's going to go to third. And the horses just stampeded from the barn.
Well, and that ball hit the umpire. He didn't get out of the way, and that's going to be an error on Chisenhall. But he made a bad pitch down and into the left-hander. Full count. He just ropes it into right field. He really had to play at second base, but the man on first, they're often running on the play, and you see he didn't expect the throw coming at him because those guys were running, so it would have been a tough relay to get the Rosario at home plate, but they both come in, and Olson did not do his job today.
A 3-run 6th for Minnesota, and they're still batting when we come back.
Indians bullpen, which had really been on a pretty good roll here in the month of June, unable to hold the Twins at bay. Bullpen has now surrendered 4 runs on the afternoon, but it's also a lot to ask of a bullpen to come on with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Brian Dozier fouls it back. He is 0 for 3 today. Runner at 3rd with 2 down.
They've done a good job on Dozier today. His 3 at-bats coming into this one. 14 pitches, 11 strikes.
Ramirez with a diving stop. Can he throw him out? You bet. Minnesota scores 3 in the 6th. Jose Ramirez with a splendid defensive play to end the inning. Indians got their work cut out for them now, down 5. Is currently warming up in the bullpen. Now he is scheduled to be the starting pitcher tomorrow, but the way the bullpen has been taxed here today, and you even go back to last night, and you went to him for the last 4 innings in the game last night. Bullpen's been on since the 2nd here today, so Tito might be thinking that that's a better option, using Pletko to try to finish this game, eat up the last 3 innings, and then figure out who starts tomorrow. Obviously, they already know who that is. They just wait till after the game to let us know.
Yeah, change in plans, you know, with your starter getting knocked out in the top of the 2nd inning.
Oh, right back to him. McGill able to defend himself, unlike Carrasco earlier in the game.
It looked like he got glove on it. That's what he was able to do. That ball got back at him. No sooner said, boom, it came back, but he did get the glove to it. Yeah, that was hit right towards it, that glove side. He's very fortunate.
Fastball strike to the outside corner. The 1-2 to Kipnis is up high. If Pletko ends up pitching in this game, Shane Bieber last pitched on July the 12th, so his turn to pitch would be
tomorrow.
Popped them up. Foul. Out of play. That's pulled foul. A little high, full count. Kipnis drew a walk to lead off the 4th inning and came around to score the last run for Cleveland. This one he smokes it to center, and a nice play defensively by Max Kepler to take a hit away from him. 2 down. Great clip of the game from last night. Yan Gomes. I said he's been their best hitter in the month of June. He had an RBI single in the 6th and then crushed a home run in the 9th inning. Gomes has hit in 10 of 11 games this month with 4 doubles and 3 home runs. But the way this month is trending right now, you have to be a little bit concerned. As the Indians go 1-2-3, and they're in danger of falling 2 games below 500 for the month if they can't rally in this one. Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
That's the story of this game. Carlos Carrasco, and to what extent is he injured? No word yet. He was taken to the hospital for x-rays after he was struck by a line drive in the second inning of this game. Adam Pletko, who was scheduled to start tomorrow, is going to be the 6th pitcher of the game for the Indians. And Tito's expecting Pletko to finish this out, pitch the last 3 innings. And then Shane Bieber, who was scheduled to pitch tomorrow at AAA Columbus, in all likelihood would get the call up and start tomorrow's series finale against Minnesota.
You would think so.
Swing and a miss.
Nice little curveball there.
"26 years old. He's made 4 starts. His last start came in Chicago against the White Sox. It was his first loss. Gave up 5 runs on 8 hits in 4 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Robbie Grossman. 1 down. And we can tell in his last start in Chicago, his command just wasn't quite as sharp as it had been in his previous starts.
Right.
And sometimes that's the fine line between success and failure at the major league level.
Well, yes, at the big leagues, you know, and a lot of times when you're coming up from the minors and getting an opportunity to start, you have to throw a lot of strikes up here if you want to go 6, 7 innings. Guys will foul it off. They take some of your better pitches that maybe they swing at down below.
And I wouldn't go so far as to say that Adam Pletko at 26 years old has figured everything out, but I don't know how much more there is to learn at AAA when, you know, he was dominating at that level. The 1-1. But this may be the year where he goes back and forth quite a bit, depending on how they have to manipulate the roster with regards to Carlos Carrasco. If it's a DL situation, if it's not.
His first start was the 26th man in the doubleheader against Toronto.
Right.
He opened up some eyes, got him another start, pitched very good against the Cubs, didn't give up a hit until the 7th inning, and then had his other start again against the White Sox, and you know, they got him a little bit. No, he won his first 3 games. He beat the White Sox, but he didn't pitch as good.
Drilled to center, but caught by Tyler Naquin. 2 down. Hey, live coverage of the U.S. Open will continue tomorrow from Shinnecock Hills on Fox FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And the 118th U.S. Open Championship has been a doozy. Now nobody is under par.
Dustin Johnson was the only one starting the day at 4 under, so he's +5 today.
It's chewed him up even.
Yes. Oh, wait till tomorrow. And you know, it's tougher for those afternoon guys, the leaders, because the greens get torn up.
Pletko, a 1-2-3 7th inning. Stretch time in Cleveland. 8-3 Twins.
They're down 5, bottom of the 7th inning. Bottom third of the order due up for Cleveland. It'll be Lonnie Chisenhall, Tyler Naquin, and Eric Gonzalez to face right-hander Matt McGill. We're just waiting for Eddie Rosario to throw a ball up over into the left field seats. Having trouble holding on to it up there. The pitch, and Lonnie looks at the ball in the dirt. Or did it hit him? It got him. The Indians will get their leadoff man aboard. Thank you very much. Matt McGill has worked 2 perfect innings of relief up until then.
Oh, right
toe.
up. Yes, indeed. The back foot. He never even moved it. Hits him. Take first base. There's your leadoff man.
Tyler Naquin checks. A little bit high, ball 1. Popped up, shallow left, and Rosario is right there. 1 down. Let's go down to Andre.
Thanks, Matt. Before the game today, 12-year-old Brett Potter and his father Eric played catch on the warning track before today's game. It's the 19th ballpark on their journey as Brett was born with achondroplasia, the most common form of dwarfism. He and his father share a love of baseball and want to play catch at every major league ballpark. Great story on this Father's Day weekend, seeing these two come to the ballpark and hang out with the players before the game today.
He's got a nice arm, man. He throws it well.
Eric Gonzalez, his 0 for 2 is flied out and lined out. Now the 1-1, and Eric Gonzalez pops this foul out of play. Just a bit outside. Now Eric Gonzalez working the count here. Two down here in the 7th. We turn it back over to the top of the order now, and Frankie Lindor coming to the plate.
Gill has done a nice job since being in here. He's retired 8 of the 9 he has faced, and just the mistake to Chiz where it hit him on the back foot.
Lindor, fly ball right field. Charging in is Robbie Grossman. The side is retired. We move to the 8th, 8-3 Twins.
that first inning, and well, we hope Carlos Carrasco is going to be okay. But interesting now that Plutko's in. He was supposed to start tomorrow's game on Sunday.
We'll have plenty to talk about after the game. Indians Live brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Right after this one, back upstairs. Matt and Rick, fellas.
Thanks, Al. Jensen, do you have a camera crew live out at Crusher Stadium for Indians Live today?
I don't know about that.
Pronk. You know Pronk's playing today?
Is he really?
He's suiting up for one game to raise some money for local little leagues. He's going to DH for the Lake Erie Crushers.
I'll tell you what.
That's awesome, isn't it?
That's going to be fantastic, and I don't think he'll get it out there. He'll have a double, but if he's back at League Park, he'd have a little better chance.
41 years old. I told him, I said, hey, Pronk, just swing hard in case, just in case. He said, he goes, my odds may be better playing the lottery.
Yeah. If he's got an opposite field approach, he might make contact.
I guarantee you he's been hitting there. He wouldn't.
Oh, you're right. He's not going to embarrass himself.
Cages. No siree.
Joe Mauer here in the 8th inning with 1 out. He has 2 hits, 2 runs scored. And it was the ball off his bat that knocked Carlos Carrasco out of this game in the 2nd inning. And stick around. Al and Jensen will have the very latest, and I'm sure we'll have some kind of word from the Indians clubhouse after the game on how the x-rays turned out for Carlos Carrasco. Hopefully it's not something that will require a DL move, but didn't look good when he left the field.
No, he went down quickly.
Popped him up. Jose Ramirez, the 3rd baseman, 2 down. Hey, stop out at the Sports Time Ohio Indians live set before the game tomorrow. Alan Jensen will be out there. They've got signs. You can use their magic markers or crayons, or you can bring your own. Be creative, and you can be on TV tomorrow.
I'm going to send Tommy out there. He's got his own crayons.
Got his own box.
Yes, he does.
He runs out of Post-it notes. He might be giving us stats on those big cards. Deep right. Lonnie's back at the wall. Goodbye. Of course.
First pitch.
Eddie Rosario is a perfect 4 for 4. He's been on all 5 times. 2 singles, a double, and now a home run.
Yeah.
This guy is a one-man wrecking crew.
No question. And he just can't believe it. Again, it's first pitch. There it is, a little above the belt. Gives him some swinging room, and he connects.
But we remember when we faced him years ago in Minnesota at Target Field. He can hit a high fastball.
Yes, he can. He hit one off Josh Tomlin up and in.
It was a chin-high fastball.
Yes, yep. Well, he scored 4 runs today. He has 4 hits. He's driven in 2. Look, he would love to play here or against the Indians the year he's having, and then following suit is Escobar, who gets a measly single.
He only has 2 hits. Go to the back of the line. But he hit his 27th double, which at least when he hit it in the first inning was most in the majors. Now Logan Morrison. Morrison, who has struggled mightily at the plate this year, has 2 doubles and has driven in 3 runs. Matt Davidson has hit 7 against the Royals, but most of those were early in the year. Now Eddie Rosario has hit 6 against the Tribe.
And we've got quite a few more games left with these Twins.
Yeah, we're only at the halfway point, right?
Right about there, yeah.
This is the 8th game of the year.
We got 1 tomorrow, and then 10 more to go.
Well, not just Rosario, but they have to figure out a way to play a different game against the Twins, because Minnesota
is on their way to winning their 6th of 8 games against the Tribe. And in the last 6 in a row, they have scored 6 runs or more every time. Now Paul Molitor scratching his head over there saying, why can't we play this like against everybody else?
Right.
Kipnis will go to first, and the inning is over. One more on the board for the Twins. It's 9-3 Minnesota. He'll be facing a brief and former teammate, Matt Belisle, who just signed back with the Twins 4 days ago. He began the season with the Indians, but in 8 appearances, he gave up 6 runs in 10 innings. He did pitch in 9 games at AAA Columbus before asking for his release so he could pursue other opportunities. This was that other opportunity. Ryan Lamar takes over in center field for Max Kepler. Kepler goes to right for Robbie Grossman. Michael Brantley is 1 for 3 here today. That gives him 13 hits in his last 11 games. Brantley is retired on a good throw by Eduardo Escobar. 1 down.
Well, next weekend, the Tigers are coming to town Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Saturday, 12,500 fans will receive a batting practice jersey. That's courtesy of Discount Drug Mart. Then you can get pregame out in the district. And then after the game, there will be a fireworks show. Go to Indians.com for your tickets.
By adding Matt Belisle to the Minnesota bullpen, the Twins now have 2 pitchers in their bullpen who have combined for 1,523 appearances. Belisle and Rodney probably have more appearances than most bullpens combined.
Yes.
Rodney has more appearances than any current active player, 853. And Matt Belisle now with his 670th appearance in a big league game. Out looking is Jose Ramirez. 2 down. You have to figure too with a guy like Rodney and even Belisle that most of those appearances throughout their career, those aren't a batter. Go face a batter and take you out of the game.
Legitimate relievers that have been out there. Yeah, the back, you know, I don't know if you want to call them stressful innings or anything like that, but yeah.
High leverage?
You can call it whatever you like. Could be called that.
White knucklers?
Yeah, when you're getting called in late in the games between the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings. Certainly a lot of times the game is on the line.
The 1-0. Edwin cuts and misses, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Smoked, drilled but foul.
Someone's going to get that as a souvenir on their way out.
Tell you what, I was impressed. That couple right there, they were going for that. That ball was live and it was hot. Mr. and Mrs. Ross. I mean, that's no can of corn foul ball down the first baseline.
No. That thing was drawn.
(9-3) Twins. We're in the 8th. Edwin shoots it up the middle for a base hit.
That's a nice at bat. Stayed on that one. They had the shift on. He just hits it right up the second base hole. A little four-seam fastball.
Now approaching the plate for the drive.
Right there, head down, hit it right where it was pitched. So Edwin gets his first hit today. That's a 2-out single. 7 hits for the Indians on the afternoon. But the steam was taken out of this ball club back in the 6th inning. And, it was a 2-run ball game, and then Minnesota were able to get 3 on the board in the top half of that inning and then add 1 in the 8th.
Jason Kipnis with a line drive single into right field. Edwin stops at second, and the Indians have 2 on with 2 out.
Well, you get another fastball. That's belled high. Kip takes advantage of it. Lines that one into right field. Now what they need is a big fly.
Popped up foul, back out of play. By the way, I found this was interesting. Fernando Rodney, as I mentioned, is the current leader among active players with 853 games pitched. If he pitches in another 400 games, he would be the all-time leader. That's how many games
amazing.
He would have to pitch in going forward to pass our man Jesse Orozco.
Yeah, he has over 1,000, right? That's
1,252.
Wow.
That's the all-time leader. We remember Jesse when he pitched for the Indians, and then
where didn't he?
Then later he pitched everywhere, it seemed like. But obviously,
but you're talking, yeah. When you said 800, I'm thinking, wow, that's really a good long career. And you said 400 more appearances.
400 more.
That would take another 8 years. He'd be probably 60. He'd be my age, still pitching.
The 0-2, way outside. Jan Gomes, a line drive single into left field, and Edwin will stop at third. The Indians with 3 straight singles have loaded them up. High fastball, and he got on top of that one.
Yes, he did.
Normally not a pitch that's suitable for him.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what the speed was on that. At 94, I don't think he
91.
91. Okay, 91, 92. So that enabled him to get on top of it. So they're going to slow things down now, and pitching coach will come out and talk while they get somebody up and throwing in the Twins bullpen, something they did not want to do.
Ryan Presley will begin to loosen for Minnesota. Garvin Alston out to talk with Belisle. I mean, they're up 6. So they're not in panic mode at this point.
No.
But if he gives up a salami, all of a sudden the bells and the sirens will be sounded.
Yeah, you're down. You're counting your outs now. The Indians down to 4 outs, but they have bases loaded, and it's going to take another base hit and stuff to keep it going. I think the crowd, if they get in here and you get a base hit, they'll start getting into it then, even though it is a 6-run game.
Lonnie doubled in the 4th. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. High fly ball. Center field, Lamar back on the track, makes the catch. And the Indians will leave them loaded. We'll go to the 9th. 9-3 Twins. to retransmit it in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. 9-3 Minnesota, and as we go to the 9th inning, another interesting development. Adam Plutko, who had pitched 2 innings, is now out of the game, and Tito has opted to go with outfielder Brandon Geyer to finish this game. He doesn't want to use anybody else in the bullpen. Why he wouldn't have just gone another inning with Plutko, I don't know. He'll answer that after the game's over.
Yeah, well, maybe he needs him out of that bullpen tomorrow. You know, to come back. Allen goes into the game in left field. You're going to get a pinch hitter for Dozier at the plate.
That's going to be Taylor Motter, formerly of the Seattle Mariners. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Hitters are usually aware in situations like this when you've got a position player out there. You don't want to get embarrassed, but you're not going to go out there and start keyholing the guy either.
No, you get up there. If you can put it in play, you swing the bat. I love it, though, when everyday players go out there to pitch, they just grab it like it's batting practice. Let's go. They're not thinking about anything. Get to the rubber, look in, and let's go.
Ground ball to third. Ramirez throws him out, 1 down. I always love, you know, they usually don't come out right away because normally it's in a rough kind of a situation that nobody wants to expand upon. But after the game, you know, you want to know, like, how did this come about? Did somebody like mosey on down to the dugout and say, hey, anybody interested in pitching in this game?
Well, see, they're going to put it in place. It's easy.
Greg Allen makes the catch, 2 down.
Talk about trying to hit corners and you have to be perfect throwing pitches. You really don't, because in batting practice they pop it up and they hit ground balls as well. So Geyer's thrown 5 pitches. He has 2 outs. And today in the first inning it took Carrasco, I think, 15 or 16 pitches to get his first out. So go figure that one out.
Not going to even try. Because the other side of that argument is somebody's going to say, well, hitters aren't trying. They're not as concentrated. They're focusing.
Well,
different,
that's true.
You know.
But that is true. But you're still trying to get a hit. You can't tell me these guys don't want to try and get a hit. There you go.
Digs one out, pops it to center.
How about that?
Brandon Geyer said nothing to this pitching thing. 1-2-3 in his first ever pitching appearance as a pro. A perfect 4 for 4 with a homer, a double. Escobar did damage as well.
We might be able to keep that first storyline going for a while when we play the Twins, the two Eddies.
No doubt about it. And Carlos Carrasco knocked out on a line drive in the second inning of this game. And again, stay tuned for Indians Live following our ball game for the very latest. Ryan Presley is the new Twins pitcher. Taylor Motter takes over at second base. Tyler Naquin shoots one up the third baseline and all the way down into the corner. He's into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, he just stayed on that ball and hits a liner right down the third baseline. Nobody even close to that. The umpire might have been able to field it. It's down into the corner, so a double for Naquin is fourth.
And here's Eric Gonzalez 0 for 3 today.
Hands up.
Even though Minnesota's up 9-3, they've only out-hit the Indians 13-10.
It seems a lot different, though, doesn't it?
Sure does. Swing and a miss, and down goes Gonzalez, one away. In the sixth inning, our Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game came off the bat of Logan Morrison. This was a crusher right here, a 2-run double that made it a 3-run sixth and made it an 8-3 game at that point. The Indians had closed it within 5-3. It was still a game, still in striking distance, but that one really popped the balloon. One down for Francisco Lindor. Oh man, on the backswing, he nailed the catcher Bobby Wilson.
Watch him let the hand go, and then that long follow swing gets him right on the helmet. We see that happen quite often.
Lindor was looking back into the Twins dugout almost as if to say, look, I don't want to speak for the catcher, but you guys ought to come out here and take a look at this guy. And Molitor and the trainer headed out, but Wilson waved them back in. A little low with a fastball, 1-1.
2 down. You know, Rick, I was just thinking back to when I talked to Terry Francona on the last road trip when the Indians were in Detroit. And one of the things that he said is, we know we cannot continue to just sort of hang around the 500 mark or wallow around the 500 mark. We know we have to play better baseball and start putting wins together. And it looked like they were about to take off, you know, there in that Detroit series. They won the series opener even in Chicago,
right.
But they cannot seem to get it into the next gear. And they're about to fall back to just 3 games over the 500 mark. Their lead in the division will be down to 2.5 games. And I'm not saying it's time to sound the panic button or alarm or anything of that nature, but it's just it's been a tough team to figure out this year.
Well, and you can't say that it's early enough or you're in the right division. You know, this is game number 69 for the Indians, so they've had a ways to go, and they certainly have to play a lot more consistent than what they have been.
Wow, Wilson just got hit again. This time it was Greg Allen on the backswing that clobbered him. Bobby Wilson might want to take Jason Kipnis's advice and back up a little bit. Just move back a little bit. Oh, 2 count. And it's up and away. Swing and a miss. Allen strikes out. Wilson will throw to first. And this game's over. The Minnesota Twins have hammered the Indians once again. 9-3 is the final. They have won the first 2 of the series by a combined score of 15-3. They have now beaten the Indians 5 straight times. And in the last 6 meetings head-to-head, Minnesota has scored 6 or more in every single game. Something has to change, and it better start tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Twins come in here and they jumped out early. They scored in the first inning in both games. They mean business. They figure they're going to come out here into the Indians ballpark, and they're going to get you early and see if you have anything left. They did have a chance, but when you give up 4 runs in the first inning, you really have to put zeros on the board. For a long time, Carrasco came out, and you know you can't expect your bullpen to shut them down, but the bullpen really didn't do their job today. They gave it up too, so you don't have a chance when something like that happens, but they're going to try and salvage one tomorrow, and we'll see who's going to pitch, because Adam Bledko, who was supposed to start the game tomorrow, pitched 2 innings today, so we would expect a call up from Columbus.
Could be Shane Bieber. We'll wait to hear the official word. Stay tuned. Indians Live is now with Al and Jensen. You guys got anything to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I think we do, Matty.
Got a full show.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know you got you guys were kind of buttoning all that up about we're almost at game 70 here. You know, you're getting about halfway through the season. You're literally 12 games from the halfway point. But I think in having been part of clubs like this and knowing that it's been streaky, I think we would agree with that. April was dismal. May was the complete opposite. June has started again much in the same fashion that April started out. That being said, the Minnesota Twins deserve a heck of a lot of credit. I mean, they came in a desperation series at Target Field. They took care of business. They have landed 2 major haymakers in both first innings against the best 2 starters the Indians got. That's the reason why the Indians are going to have to try and avoid the sweep tomorrow.
And Eddie Rosario looks a lot like Jose Altuve did when he played here last month.
Yeah.
You can't get the guy out. He's perfect at the plate again today.
471 now he's hitting against the Indians in 8 games with 6 home runs.
Lots to talk about straight ahead on Indians Live. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Today, Carlos Carrasco went down. We hope to have the latest on him coming up. We'll also recap this one for you. Once again, the Minnesota Twins top the Tribe. Indians Live next.